welcome back to Wolf Hunter's Armory on YouTube. I know it's been a little while since my last video. Today I've got a little bit of a different video. I'm actually going to be doing two sort of reviews at once. So recently I was in the market to replace one of my EDCs, which is the Diamondback DB9 Gen 4. Because everybody has come out with these micro-compact, high-capacity pistols. So I was looking at the Glock 43, the 43X, the Sig Sauer P365, the Springfield Hellcat. Those were the three that I had come down to. I'd also looked at the Ruger Max 9. I've got a friend of mine that has that. It's a decent gun. Not quite my thing. I've got plenty of Rugers already. Nothing wrong with them. I wanted something a little different. And the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus and 9mm. So, excuse me. Looking to replace this with something a little bit same size, but higher capacity. So what I ended up going with was the Springfield Hellcat, right here. So what ultimately made me choose this over like the 365, first of all, I'm not a big Glock fan. So I was looking at the Glock because it's an option. It's not one that I was really into a whole lot, but it was still in the running. It came down to those three. Between looking at all the videos, most people preferred either the Hellcat or the P365. The P365 was ultimately the winner, but I ended up with the Hellcat. The reason for that is that at my local store, the only place that had both of them, actually the only place in my town that had either one at the time that I was looking, was a local shop that's known for being a little bit pricier than other shops, like the 365, not even the XL or the X, just the normal 365, is going for like $639. This one sells normally for like $649 in that store. But they actually had a deal going on the Hellcat OSP, which this is the optics ready model, and it was on special for $4.99. So $4.99, 11 plus 1, and 13 plus 1 versus $6.39 for 10 plus 1, 12 plus 1. I would rather have had the Sig, but it wasn't on the special. I ended up with the Hellcat. I'm not displeased with it. I love the Hellcat. It shoots great. I actually really like the sights on this, and my light just fell over for no reason. So I will be right back. Let's try this one more time. Hopefully this light won't actually fall on me. But anyway, like I was saying, I love the sights on this. For whatever reason, I can pick these up a lot easier than the standard 3-dot sights. Now the front sight is a night sight. The rear sight is just a white U notch. But I do like the sights. They're easy to pick up. That's a great shooting gun. Not really a whole lot I can say about it. I don't have a whole lot of rounds through it. This past Sunday was the first time that I've actually had it out on the range. I did put several mags through it, and even had a couple other people that I was out there with. My wife, her friend, and her oldest daughter, which you've seen them on the videos before about the new shooters shooting some of my stuff. So they actually tried it and they like it, and my wife's friend has the Max 9. I helped her pick it out. That was the one that she liked over this and the Sig and the Glock and all that. But she's got the optics ready version of the Ruger Max 9, and she likes that. It does have front and rear fiber optics on her Max 9, which I like the fiber optics, but something about this one, I don't know if that U-notch right there, it seems a bit brighter to me than any of the 3-dot sights that I have on any other pistol. I'm wondering if, and I haven't actually looked at it, if these are actually reflective paint on it. It seems like it might be, because it's just very, very bright. And if it is, that's great. That would be the first time I've ever seen reflective sights on it, which I think is a great idea, because in light, any sort of light source, they are going to show up a lot better. But anyway, getting back to the point that I was making, the gun itself is a great shooting gun. The only thing I have to get a little more used to is the trigger on it. I'm not used to this style trigger, and what I mean by that, so this is clear. It does have an empty mag in it, and this is the 11 round with the flush base plate, and you'll see why I chose the flush one over the pinky extension in just a minute. That would be the second part of this video. But the trigger on this, once you pull the trigger, it doesn't return, and every other gun that I've got, the trigger actually returns back forward. This one does not return until it is reset. There you go. Then you can see it move back forward, and then as you click it, you know, it stays back. I'm really not used to that type of trigger. Every other pistol that I've got, no matter what size it is, this one is also unloaded, clear chamber, is like this one. So click it, it returns back forward. It's under spring tension, and it just resets back forward even after it's, you know. So this one is something that I've kind of got to get a little bit used to. It's not bad at all. I do love the flat face on it rather than the traditional style curved trigger. But again, it's just different. It's not bad. It's not great. It's different. And as you guys can tell, I did already kind of customize it like I do the rest of them. I do have it painted Springfield Armory. There you go. Got everything on either side. Yeah, if you guys have noticed, I've done some of them in blue, like the Canic. The Ruger American, my 45, is gold and black. This one I did a bright green. I don't know why. I guess the whole Hellcat thing and the Dodge, you know, Hellcat. I don't know. I've just always liked that bright green color. And the green on black really looks good to me. So, whatever. It's my choice. My gun. I do what I want. Anyway, getting back to this. So, one of the things that I was really impressed about with this is the accuracy even at long distance for its size. This is also very accurate. But I have trouble out at farther distances, you know, anything further than about 10 yards, I have a little bit of trouble with, and maybe it's because it is so thin. The grip is just so thin on it, it wants to come up out of my hand a lot of times when I'm shooting it, because this is quite snappy. And again, it's not a complaint against it. I actually love this gun. Come on, focus. Focus. Okay. I love this little pistol. I've had this for a while, and I take it out and shoot it regularly. It's something that I carry, so it is something that I practice with quite often. It isn't very pleasant to shoot. I said the grip on it is very, very thin. Sights on it are decent. They're not the brightest in the world. They're not bad. But when you're shooting it, because the grip is so small, I mean, most of my finger goes through the trigger guard, so I kind of have to sit back here like this to make it a little more comfortable, and it does kind of move around in my hands a little bit. So, it's not bad. It's not a complaint. It's just has more felt recoil because it is so much smaller. This one, on the other hand, because it is double stack, it is quite a bit thicker. So, and it just feels more comfortable in my hand. I can control it better, even with the flat base plate on there. I can still get roughly a quarter of my pinky on it, so it's not completely dangling down, but it's, you know, it's still there. And it's just a little bit easier for me to control and be accurate out at further distances. 25 yards, 15 yards, I have no problems with this. I have noticed that it is a little ammo sensitive. I haven't had any, well, I had one issue with some ammo at the range. I was shooting a bunch of mixed stuff. I ran hollow points through it, some of the Norma MHPs, the critical duties, critical defense, the Barnes, I'm trying to remember if it was the TAC XPD or the Vortex. I don't remember which one. It was a Barnes round. And then some Full Metal Jackets. I had some Remington, Federal, Winchesters. I had some, the Winchesters are the USA Ready steel case, and that was the only ammo that had an issue with this, and it was just one round throughout the whole day, and it was, like I said, not a whole lot of rounds, about 200 rounds, but one of them did not seat all the way, and the extractor never grabbed onto the rim. I don't know what was going on with it, but I had to, I pulled the magazine out, I cleared it out, I actually saved that round. I loaded it back into the magazine, and it chambered fine the second time. I don't know what happened the first time. I did inspect it, make sure it wasn't damaged, and, you know, the bullet hadn't been set back into the casing any at all, nothing like that. So it was safe to try to rechamber it. I just wanted to see what the issue was with it. It didn't do it again. But that was the only ammo, and it may be because of the steel case. It may have, I don't know, something on the coating of it may have caused it to get stuck going up the feed ramp. I don't know what the issue was, but that was the only ammo that did it. Everything else run 100%. So I'm not going to blame the gun for that. I'm going to blame the ammo on that one. But anyway, this thing ran great through all the rounds we did put through it that day. And yeah, I absolutely love carrying it. Now, there is a holster that I like to carry this stuff in. I actually have two holsters that I carry both of these in. Right now, I'm just going to talk about the one because it was the most surprising to me. So I have a Sneaky Pete holster. Let's move these out of the way for just a second. So this is the Sneaky Pete holster. This one, I don't think it says anywhere. It's got a bin number. I ordered this specifically for the Diamondback. And when I ordered it, they did not make one specifically for the Diamondback Gen 4. They had one for Gen 1, 2, and 3 that would fit. The Gen 4 slightly different dimensions than the earlier generations of the DB9. So what I ended up doing is taking the manufacturer's measurements and ordering a holster that matched those measurements. The one I ended up with is the one that fits the Ruger LC380. Not the LCP, but the LC380. That one had the same measurements, basically, as the Diamondback. And here it is right here. So this is a concealed carry holster. It looks kind of like a cell phone or a PDA case. Got two clips on it. Magnetic snaps. I think this was around $40 when I got it. It's not one of the leather ones. It's just a plain black nylon. And the inside is soft. It's almost velvet. And you can see there the magnets coming through it there. And on the inside, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. And I don't have a different light out here, but there's actually a little plastic polymer piece in there that sits up, you know, keeps it from moving around, sits tight up against the magazine, or the trigger guard, I'm sorry. So it sits up against the trigger guard, holds it in place, so when you need it, it's a quick draw. So, with the Diamondback, and it fits the flat or the extended base plate on this, and the extended base plate actually pushes this corner out just a little bit. Nothing major, but it fits in there, closes just fine. I can wear it when I'm wearing shorts, if I know I'm going to be somewhere where they're not very gun friendly, but I might need quick access to it. I like using this one rather than keeping it in my waistband because it is so small, it's hard to get a grip on it. So with this, you flip it open and you can actually just pull it right out. It's very quick, very easy. And you can see this basically fills up the holster there. But because the Hellcat is so close in dimensions to it, with the completely flat base plate that I have on that there instead of the little pinky extension one, this actually goes in and fits the same. So I don't have to buy a separate holster for it. It works absolutely perfectly. It actually sits a little bit higher, which is good. It sits almost flush with the top, which is how it's supposed to be. You do have enough room in there, so if I turn it this way, to get 2 fingers in to actually draw the grip. You can get 2 fingers on the grip to draw the gun, and then get your grip on it and actually fire it if you need to. I said it just slides right in. Absolutely wonderful fit to it. You almost forget that you're wearing this thing. I've always liked the idea of having the visible concealed carry because it's just a lot easier to get to without having to move clothing out of the way. At least this is rigid right here. So when you flip it up out of the way, it's usually going to stay out of the way, unlike clothing, which can be kind of floppy. But I do like this, and I recommend it to anyone, you know, that's carrying something really small. I've carried this, and nobody has ever questioned what it is because it looks like a big cell phone case or a PDA case, or they have them with, you can get them in pink with the breast cancer ribbon on it. You can get them in camo. You can get them with a power bank on it. First aid kit, be a red one with a little white cross on it, and, you know, say like med kit or first aid or something on it. They have all different kinds of these on their website at Sneaky Pete. And of course they do have their premium ones. They've got like black and brown alligator. They've got nice leather. The thing I don't like about those is that they have the emblem up here. It says SP. So I really didn't want that on mine. It's the reason that I just went with the plain black. It's not going to stand out. Nobody's going to notice it as a nice case. It's just a basic looking case. And for size reference, I mean, that's my hand on it. So it isn't huge by any means. I was trying to see if I could find something else. But regardless, I mean, that's the Diamondback. It's the size of my hand, and it fits right in there snugly. But anyway, just thought I would share that with you guys. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one.